Hello and welcome to Newsroom Series. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us today. Happy holidays to our viewers. Now, we are going to begin with headline inflation rate, which is one of our top stories. However, our focus is the southwest region of the country. Now, to the top story, where Nigeria's headline inflation rate has recorded a further reduction of 32.15% relative to the July 2024 headline inflation rate of 33.40%. Looking at the movement, the August 2024 headline inflation rate showed a decrease of 1.25% points when compared to the July 2024 headline inflation rate. However, on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 6.35% points higher compared to the rate recorded in August 2023. Food inflation dropped to 37.52% in August from 39.53% in July, indicating a 2.01% reduction. The United Nations Children's Education and Mushin, that is Ogun State House of Assembly, have agreed on a commitment and commenced advocacy towards reducing incidents of out-of-school children in Ogun State. The two sides said this has become imperative in view of the observed slight rise in out-of-school children at the primary and secondary school levels, especially in the rural areas. The advocacy entails good legislation on education development, awareness among critical stakeholders, and utmost sense of responsibility towards more enrollment and retaining students in schools.
According to United Nations Children's Fund, 10.6% of primary school age, 12.1% of students of lower secondary school age, and 19.9% of their counterparts in upper secondary school age are out of schools in the state. So, seeking the partnership and understanding of the members of the State House of Assembly towards putting a check on the observed cases of out-of-school children is deemed as highly instructive and not out of place. As representatives of their constituents, they are closer to the people at the grassroots, hence the need to get legislators involved in awareness and support for their constituents in this direction.
We want to partner with you to see how we can get back to our constituencies. Begin to identify those who are not in school. Why are they not in school? Those who have dropped out, why have they dropped out? And what can we do as honorable members who have signed social contract with those people? Because we know that when you say vote for me, if you vote for me, I do this for you. That was what we told them. So they have voted for us. Now it is time for us to give back. And we think that one of the ways we can give back is to go back to where we come from, find out why they are not going to school, find out why they are dropping out, most importantly.
Responding to the statistics, the Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbagu, says the menace of out-of-school children is universal, but agrees there's need for improvement to check the trend.
For us, we need to remind those who have forgotten, and we need to encourage those who are not willing to bring their children to school. And because we have also embarked on free education policy in Ogun State, it's one of the steps we have taken to ensure that out-of-school children goes down. That has improved access. That has improved the enrollment in school. So more and more children are coming to the school because fees are not charged in school.
The leadership of the State House of Assembly and the Chief UNICEF Field Office for Southwest Nigeria agree on promoting stronger advocacy towards reducing the menace, especially within rural communities.
We want to improve the standards. We want to move knowledge forward. We want to raise the bar, and we will be willing to partner with UNICEF to achieve all this.
What we intend to do is strengthen this beautiful collaboration we have with Ogun State, with the government of Ogun, and reiterate our commitment to support the state, especially the members of Assembly, to work with us to identify the children that are out of school within the states, and to be sure that the necessary steps are in place for infrastructures, for the number of teachers available to teach our children in Ogun, and also to enhance the quality of teaching, the quality of education in the states.
As the meeting closes, both parties sign a commitment and social contract to do more in order to achieve the desired goals.
Experts say deliberate, inclusive strategy to improve access to quality care for prevention and control of cancer must be employed by governments at all levels to change the narrative about cancer prevalence in Nigeria. This is the only actionable platform on which cancer care should be given the desired outcome, or could give the desired outcome, to reduce the scourge. Expert radiologists, oncologists, and allied professionals in healthcare made this submission in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, at the 7th Annual Scientific Conference of the Association of Radiation and Clinical Oncologists of Nigeria.
It's a week-long conference as radiologists, oncologists, and relevant stakeholders discuss a disease described as the leading cause of death in Nigeria, cancer. They are gathered for this critical meeting at the conference center of the University of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where the Vice Chancellor sets the tone for the discussions.
The social, economic, and healthcare system factors that influence cancer outcomes in Nigeria. And the goal is at identifying actionable solutions. That this conference will also dwell on promoting access to cancer care facilities. And this is aimed at ensuring equitable access to high-quality cancer care to all Nigerians, and that it will be a priority. That it will also explore innovative approaches to overcoming barriers to care, including geographical, financial, and systemic challenges.
The conference submits that the fault lines in the prevention and control of cancer in Nigeria seems to widen with time, and this portends an immediate and clear danger if not confronted.
The National Strategic Health Development Plan 2 recommends elimination of financial hardship at the healthcare provider points through the operation of National Health Insurance Fund, which provides a basic minimum package of health services for all Nigeria. The package comprises emergency care, treatment of diabetes, hypertension, routine immunizable conditions, care of illnesses among children below 5, emergency obstetric and newborn care, labor and delivery, elective cesarean section and antenatal care. These interventions should include comprehensive care, cancer care, to ensure access to quality and affordable care.
The impact of cancer on mortality and morbidity rates in the country underscores the need for development of effective treatments, improved access to cancer screening and early detection, cancer prevention, as well as strengthened healthcare systems to address cancer care disparities across Nigeria. Some of the gaps identified at the conference include fundamentals, like the enrollment of medical students who should be encouraged to choose the field of radiology and oncology as a specialty. The conference hopes to close this debilitating gap across Nigeria.
How do we get them to really understand that the federal government has provided some measures for them to be able to go to certain centers and access their treatment either free of charge under the National Cancer Health Fund scheme or through a structured payment through the NHIA or through the NCAP payments where the prices of drugs are really at a reduced price.
At the end of the conference, the submissions made will be transmitted to policymakers and those saddled with the implementation of such policies. The hope is that cancer prevalence indices would improve for the better to achieve universal health coverage for cancer care.
The federal government appears to be fulfilling its promise to provide cheaper, safer, and sustainable transportation for Nigerians as the free conversion of commercial vehicles begins in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The first phase begins with the conversion of about 150 commercial vehicles to ease the transportation burden of residents of Oyo State. The move, according to the business development executive of the presidential CNG, Louisa Afu, is part of government's efforts to bridge the gap created by exorbitant transportation costs by providing a cheaper and safer alternative to the high cost of petrol across the country.
As the uncomfortable controversy concerning high cost of petrol rages on in Nigeria, the federal government is intensifying efforts to promote the compressed natural gas initiative, an initiative capable of reducing the financial burden and environmental compromises arising from overdependence on petrol. To translate this to reality, the distribution of conversion kits to approach centers nationwide commences, and commercial vehicles are getting the service free of charge to alleviate the burden of high transportation costs. About 150 commercial transporters have been selected as beneficiaries in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital.
Oh my God, CNG is cheaper. It is what we have. In short, Nigeria is not an oil country. It is a gas country. We have more gas in Nigeria than oil. So our oil is finite. Gas is yet to stay. We have a lot of it. So it's more sustainable. Every vehicle from 1996 to date. It's compliant.
The sole beneficiaries of this new phase, the transport unions, note that the CNGI is the way to go as they form partnerships with government to spread the news on the benefits of this initiative.
This CNG program is a welcome program to us in the transport sector. I wish the President will succeed on this CNG program. So all the transport sector, we are very, very like this CNG program. We love it, and we say thank you to the President.
Some residents who have keyed into the initiative attest to its cheaper and cleaner properties, but asks that government further subsidizes the conversion kits to promote better access.
The cost is still high for average Nigerians because of the current challenges we are going through. Though we learned that it's still subsidized, because I did mine at around 750,000, and I don't see average Nigerians at this time pumping out such, except that your job revolves, or your life revolves buying of fuel every day. But I will tell you, if the government can still push it lower, so that people can, key into this program for, being all right, being appropriate. I will tell you that I consciously have the feeling that I'm no more spending the huge amount that I'm spending that I used to spend before. So government can come in form of maybe grants to people, especially private sectors, and then private people and private individuals. And then the transport unions. And I see that if everybody embraces it, it's going to, on the long run, benefit all Nigerians.
This initiative presents a cheaper alternative that the government also says is environment friendly and sustainable. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested an Ibadan, Oyo State-based businesswoman, Mrs. Adewumi Dorcas, and an auto parts dealer, Rinze Ora, over attempts to export consignments of cocaine and opioids to London, the UK, and Congo. A statement signed by the Director of Media Advocacy of the agency, Mr. Babafemi Femi, says officers of the agency at the export shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, had on Friday, 6th of September 2024, intercepted a cargo of codeine-based syrup and Rohypnol hidden in cartons of food going to the UK. The statement adds that the freight agent, Owojori Sunday, who presented the cargo for export, was arrested, and further investigation led to the arrest of another suspect, Adewumi Temidokpe, who claimed that his mother, a 58-year-old woman, Mrs. Adewumi Dorcas, sent the consignment to him from Ibadan to deliver to the agent. The statement further adds that NDLEA operatives at the same export shed of the Lagos airport on Wednesday, 11th September, intercepted some cartons of auto spare parts and checkers powdered custard belonging to Mr. Arinze Ora, who attempted to export the drugs to Congo on Ethiopian Airlines. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council, with the Ogun State government, has commenced the distribution of high-yield cashew seedlings to the cashew-growing farmers across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. The chief executive officer of the council, represented by their representatives, said this is aimed at improving production as well as diversifying the country's economy through the agriculture sector and its value chain. Ogun State is being selected as one of the pioneering states for the new initiative towards the implementation of One State, One Product, aimed at improving Nigeria's stake in the international market with high-quality cashew products. Now, experts say, before we go to that story, over 200 residents of Mushin Constituency 2 have benefited from the official unveiling of the Humanitarian initiative organized by Honorable Tony Ifayinka, representing Mushin Constituency 2 for the people of Mushin in Lagos State. Mr. Ifayinka says the distribution of startup tools and cash incentives for youth and businessmen and women is aimed at providing relief to citizens of Mushin Constituency 2. He advises beneficiaries to make good use of the equipment and not sell them.
Different kind of empowerment startup tools assembled for the people of Mushin, and the beneficiaries of the equipment are here to receive their working tools provided by Honorable Tony Ifayinka, representing Mushin Constituency 2.
We have APC woman leader.
Businessmen and women in Mushin have been carefully selected for the empowerment initiative to assist the people at this difficult time.
It is my duty to ensure that our constituency prospers. This I have been doing through bills, motions, and matters of urgent national importance. In the past 1 year, I have worked alongside the leadership of the National Assembly and my honorable colleagues to provide employment opportunities for our vibrant youth and also empowered men and women with tools and cash grants to start up a business of their choice.
Beneficiaries of the initiative are grateful for the support.
With this now, there are no more fear for no more school fees. There are no more fear for another shop. Now, this means steady income guaranteed.
Thief come to my shop and broke down my shop and steal all my machine. So I'm happy.
I'm sending my regards to Honorable Tony Ifayinka for me being a beneficiary of this great empowerment, and I say thank you to him.
For the chairman of Mushin local government area, collective efforts in assisting the people will go a long way towards reducing the economic hardship on citizens.
If the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing his own, the governor is doing his own, the local government is also doing its own. Then the House of Assembly and the Rep, they are doing their own. Then I know when so many things are coming from different angles, that shows that the community will be, at least, we are going to uplift their problem.
The youth are also not left out in the support exercise, and the representative, Mushin Constituency 2, says he's willing to do more for the people.
My aim of doing this is to help them to make their businesses grow. I do know that small businesses and private businesses grow economy. So we want to grow our economy. All those people that are getting cash grant, they have submitted their account and be here. The money will get to the account between now and Friday. So it's not a one-off thing. We have been doing it, this is not the first time. So my advice to the beneficiaries, no one should sell it. If you sell it, probably you have sold your future.
A total number of 8 tricycles, 45 industrial sewing machines, 60 grinding machines have been distributed to the people and 100 youth also received 100,000 naira each to support their daily living.
Youth in Ogun State have demanded good mentorship, purposeful leadership, with a high sense of responsibility towards navigating the high rise in social vices in order to restore hope for society. This was part of the takeaway during a one-day student summit with the theme Campaign Against Social Vices, Breaking the Chain of Social Vices, Empowering the Youth, held at the Cultural Center, Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. They call on parents, the community, and religious leaders to be up and doing to ensure restoration of societal, moral, and family values for a better society.
This summit is organized by members of the National Association of Nigerian Students and National Association of Ogun State Students in conjunction with the Secretariat of Senate of the NANS. The event attracts the presence of students of tertiary institutions in the state, national officers of NANS, members of the security operatives, heads of schools and parents, and the conversations here centered on eradication of social vices such as cultism, substance abuse, which has been responsible for surge in crimes among youths, examination malpractices, and the need to inspire hope, restore confidence and sense of responsibility among the youths.
I encourage each and every one of you here to lend your voices, your passion, and your commitment to this cause. Let us work hand in hand to empower our youth and to break free from the circle of social vices for a brighter and more hopeful future.
Rector of the state-owned Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Dr. Adeoye Odedeji, and the representative of the State Commissioner of Police call for self-discipline, leadership development, and effective mentorship as some of the factors towards achieving this goal.
Those who are here today, we are students. Your success is hinged on one thing: ability for self-control, which is discipline. Another interpretation of discipline is delay gratification, abiding with the rules and regulations. I want to sincerely appreciate you because you are making our jobs as teachers very simple.
Social vices need to be caught. Our youth that engage in these dangerous acts need our help, our advice, and the addicted ones need to be rehabilitated. Parents need to devote more time for our youth. They should be taught the moral values and words of God.
The summit also takes a cursory look at the recent directive of the federal government on the National Education Policy on age limit for writing the West African Examination Council papers and admission into universities.
The decision on the policy statement by the Minister of Education on the issue of not writing WAEC or the rest can lead to social vices in our society. And I know that cannot stand, because if you are telling me that I must be 18 years to write WAEC, what if I don't make my English or maths? So it means that I'm going to wait again to the next. So this is, sir, please, our security agencies, take this message back to them. We will continue to talk, we will continue to advocate for what is right from the educational sector of this country.
And while efforts are directed towards eradicating these vices, organizers believe that youths must be seen to be embracing a deep sense of responsibility, self-discipline, and restraint for a morally stable society.
And that's it on Newsroom series today. Thanks for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.